Hello everybody, welcome to a crafter's story. It's Celeste here. So I have been thinking about doing mark making or doing some mark making for a while, and I knew that I could use that paper as collage fodder, but I didn't quite know what to do with it. But that changed today because I did some marking, should I say, on paper, and then decided to cut out letters from the piece of paper that I did the markings on, because I think that these could look nice on a card, in a journal, on a poster, wherever I'm going to use it, doesn't really matter. This is the piece of paper that I did all the markings on. So what I'd like to do with you guys today is perhaps do another page, another marked page, and then cut out some different letters. So, I could do another O. I think I have space for another O and do hope. I could maybe do another E and do live, or maybe swap that out and do love. So a couple of different options. So if I had to duplicate the O, duplicate the E, and I could still do a couple of different words here. So let me move this aside and show you what I used. I'm using my mixed media paper. It's a 98-pound mixed media paper that I just picked up at my local store, and it's an 8 by 8 inch little piece. Now I just like the slightly thicker paper because I'm going to be cutting out letters, and they can be a little bit a little finicky to work with. So I like the thicker paper. Now I don't have a stencil. I went on to Google and I just typed in printable alphabet, printable letters, and I eventually found one that I liked, and I just printed out the page and made a couple of prints of them because I wanted multiple of the letters, and I've cut them out. So these are just off the internet, you guys, off Google, and I've cut them out and I'm using them as stencils. So nothing fancy, but of course if you have a stencil it'll be so much easier. I just don't have one, but if I had one that would be great. So I'm going to use this array of pens. Now these are slightly different paint markers that I've used previously. They were also a gift recently. These are the Voicen. I don't know that I would call these acrylic paint pens. To me, they're more like markers. They have this very thick end here, a very sort of chunky thick end, and then they have that finer tip at the other end. And my only criticism, or critique, let me rather say critique, on these guys is that the color you get from your thick side is not always the color you get from the thin side. So, but it hasn't really been a problem. I'm just gonna work with it. So I think this is so it's not really a metallic marker, it's more just a white marker from the dollar store. And then I have a Sharpie would be fine, but I happen to have an Artist Loft permanent marker in a black, like that. And then this really awesome chunky little black permanent jumbo marker. And I'm actually going to start with my jumbo marker, and there is no rhyme or reason here. I am going to make marks, just absolute random marks, and the goal here is to fill the page with as much color, whether the color is black or blue or pink or whatever it is, as I possibly can. And so whether it's lines or squiggles. This is the part where you really don't want to, I don't want to stop, I don't want to think, I just want to mark the page, because when you cut out your letters, you're not going to see any kind of pattern really. So this is the part where I'm just going to have fun with it. So I'm going to stop talking and play. Okay, so all the markings, the mark making has been done, and I felt a little bit like there was a lot of bold line in here, and so I've taken a thinner, just saw one that I missed. I've taken one of my finer markers and gone in with some lighter lines just to, I guess, add a little bit of balance to some of the thicker lines that's everywhere. So I've gone in with quite a bit, you might see, but I think it's done. So there is our final marked up piece of paper, and what I'm going to do now is to flip it over, and this is where I made my first mistake with this one, because I turned it over, I took my J that I'd cut out, I placed it down, I traced it off, I cut it out, and I got that, right? But now when you turn it over, the J is pointing in the wrong direction. And I did the same thing with the L. I put my L down, traced it out, cut it out, but then when I flipped it, the L was pointing in the wrong direction. So the trick here is just to remember that you need to put your letters on the back of your marked page, but upside down, and that way when you flip it, it'll come out the right way. So just a little tip for you guys. And I think what I'd like to do is an M. So to follow my own advice, I'm going to take the M, flip it upside down. I'm going to just take out my fine marker and trace off. I mean, this would be so much easier if I had a stencil, and maybe I'll go and look for one online, but for now this is working just fine. So I'm just gonna go and do this, and then I want a second M because I want to write the word mom. I'm gonna do one right next to it, like that. And so I'm going lightly because I don't want, you can see that some of these markers come through the page. This lighter one doesn't, thankfully, so I can use it to trace off my letter. And you'll find letters that have some symmetry to them, like an I or an H, or even this M. That rule about placing it upside down it doesn't really matter, because no matter which way you, and the O of course as well, but when you're getting to something like a P or a B or a J, direction does matter. Okay, oh, let me hold it down a bit better. So I'm going to trace off maybe another L. I'm going to do a second O, maybe do the word love, L-O-V. And like this. Okay. There we go. Let me do my L. Now remember, I'm going to have to put it upside down, so that when I cut it out and flip it, it's gonna come out the right way, right direction, like this, like that. So this is the part that's a little finicky, but it's worth it when it comes out the other side. Okay, there's my L. I need a V. I lost my V, guys. I don't know what I did with it. I used it earlier, like an hour ago. I used my V. So I'm just going to use the A, because it's pretty much the same shape. I obviously just won't put in this little stripe here. I must have mistakenly thrown out my V. Oh, I'm going a little off here. Okay, I'm going to freehand this one a little bit. There, that's it. Now what do I need? I need an E. I need the E. And this one as well, we're going to have to do upside down. Oh, and well, I don't suppose it matters. Let me go up here, so I'm using up my space efficiently. This. And then after this, I will go and do some tracings on my own. Well, let's cut these out, I suppose. And we'll do the big reveal to see what these markings that I did, what they actually look like on the letter. So I'm not going to turn it over. I'm going to cut out these like this. And let me start cutting out, and then we'll do like the big reveal of all of them and see what they look like with the colors and the markings. So I will be back in a few minutes once I have cut these all out. Hey everybody, so I'm done with the cutting out, and I haven't looked. I promise. I said I wouldn't look and I would do the reveal with you. So I don't know what the markings are going to look like once I turn over these letters. So if I messed anything up, we're about to find out together. So let's see. So on this side, I did the extra O, did the extra E, and we now have 3 full words. And I really love the pink and the black, and there's a little bit of purple in there, just scattered here and there. That really looks nice to me, so I think I'm going to probably use those colors again. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Da da da. There's M and O and M. Okay, so there's mom. Let's see how love turned out. I can already tell you that I like these, but I think that the smaller markings, these smaller, finer markings are a better fit for these letters than these very bold markings. dislike it. It's just a preference. So there's my J and O. Oh, come on, Y and Y. So they're still wonderful, and I still absolutely can use them. That one's got a bit of white space there I probably want to fill in, but there you go. Easy peasy. You can make your own very, very decorative letters using just markings on a page, a stencil of letters, or letters that you cut out, that you printed off Google or Bing or wherever it is that whichever search engine you use, and they are going to look gorgeous. And you have control over the size, the color, to a degree even the shape, if you don't go quite as blocky as I've gone, if you want to go a bit more decorative. So yeah, there you go. I hope you have fun, and if you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe and hit that like button, and we'll see you next time. Bye.